Persona 4 Arena's Platinum Trophy is hard as fuck. Thanks YouTube for letting me say that at the beginning of videos now. Most Persona games have simple, straightforward trophy lists. Do all social links, read the books, max social stats, stuff like that. While they can be tricky in their own right, let's be honest with ourselves, they don't require actual skill to complete. There's nothing stopping you from following a perfect guide to the T telling you exactly what to do to get the platinum. This game is not like that. I'm honestly willing to say that for the vast majority of people out there, this platinum is virtually impossible. To back this up, the second rarest platinum for the Persona series is the sequel to this game, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, with only 1.42% of trophy hunters obtaining the platinum. What about Persona 4 Arena itself? Only 0.4% of players. So this is over 3 times rarer than the second rarest platinum, which is already more rare than most games. Yeah. This is why if you watch many Persona Platinum related videos, you're not going to see this game in it because people cannot get it. I mean, no shade to anyone by that statement, by the way, because honestly, I don't even recommend anyone do this platinum because it's genuinely miserable. I would not wish this on my worst enemy. This game asks you to do all 390 combo trials across the 13 characters, complete the near impossible score attack mode with all characters where you basically die in one hit and if you lose you restart from the beginning, and of course it has online trophies, the bane of all trophy hunters' existence. I've already got this platinum on my main account, but for the sake of detailing this grueling journey in detail, I decided to make a fresh account and do it all over again. Editor's note, this was the worst idea I've ever had. By the way, they made making an account for the PS3 a pain in the ass. I had to make an account on my PS5, go to the PlayStation website, generate a device password for the PlayStation 3, and then I could finally log in. I sat there for a good 30 minutes or something doing all that, so the first day was just me making this account. I didn't do anything else platinum related. Good start. Once I finally got to the main menu the next day, I instantly unlocked the first trophy. Considering how grueling this platinum is, I find it funny that it has one of the easiest trophies in gaming history. Simply turn the game on. Yet somehow some people never unlocked it, which means they turned the game on and immediately turned it off before getting to the main menu, but also got far enough to install the trophy data. Very bizarre. So the first order of business I wanted to get out of the way was the story, so I did what any Persona fan would naturally do. I skipped every single piece of dialogue from start to finish and beat every route in about 2 hours. I am now declaring myself as a master of the arena storyline, and if you disagree with that statement, then you're factually wrong. All jokes aside, I do actually like the story of Arena a lot, especially with Labrys' character, who is the main focus of the story. I ain't gonna spoil anything, but the story of this game is pretty underrated, but as far as trophies go, there's nothing noteworthy. You just play the story to get the story trophies. Shocking, I know, so I won't waste your time with that. After I got that done, I went ahead and got all the online trophies done, but as you'd imagine, the online for this version of the game is completely dead, so I had to come up with a plan to tackle this. My plan of attack was to use the power of bonds I've made in my actual real life to get this done. I asked one of my good friends, Nate, to help me out with this trophy. So he brought over his PlayStation 3, I had a whole other desk and TV set up for him, 2 copies of the game, and we boosted the trophies on my main account and this new account I just made. Under any other circumstances, this would have been a boring, monotonous grind. But because we were sitting 2 feet from each other and all I needed to do was boost wins for all the online trophies like reaching C rank, playing 100 matches, reaching level 30, we just talked and kicked it back while barely paying attention to the game. It was a great night actually, and the best part is that it really didn't take that long. I think it was a little over 2 hours to get everything done, and then after that we went and played some Modern Warfare 2 split screen like the good old days. I didn't waste time getting all the smaller trophies from boosting, because for the Belt Collector trophy, you have to be arcade mode with all the characters anyways, so it's a waste of time trying to do it all here. Since we were just on the topic of arcade mode, let's talk about that for a bit. Arcade mode is a very easy mode where you fight about 10 characters in a row with your selected character, and once you beat it, you get a small snippet of the main story. Arcade mode comes from, and I'm sure you could have guessed this, the arcade versions of the game. Since most fighting games at the time came out in arcades first and then were ported to console after, it kind of became a staple for the fighting game genre. It's a great way for beginners to have some fun and get a feel for the game as a whole and their selected character. But if you're more experienced like me, as in someone who competes in actual tournaments and has spent thousands of hours on the game, it's pretty damn tedious. Fighting game AI at the time was really bad. It's hard to make good AI in any game, but fighting games in particular are all about timing and strategy. all of which AI are incapable of understanding, at least as it was in 2012. This is kind of a good thing for the most part, since I left all the smaller trophies for this arcade segment of the trophy journey, but it's not actually a good thing because this was a pain in the ass because the AI would not do what I needed them to do because they're so trash. Most things weren't bad, like the trophies for doing instant blocks, all out attacks, all that are simple. But when you have to rely on the AI for certain things like being hit by all ailments, it's really annoying. The easiest way to get these ailments would be to boost it because Elizabeth can inflict all of them pretty easily. But Elizabeth never appears in arcade mode, so you have to do it the hard way if you choose not to boost it like I did. The one in particular that was just impossible for some reason was the charm ailment. The only character in arcade mode that can inflict this is Mitsuru, but even when I was sitting completely still doing absolutely nothing, she just wouldn't do it. I tried several times across all the characters and she was not trying to cooperate with me at all. It was really starting to piss me off because I even put the AI on the hardest difficulty, which is supposedly so hellish, and they were doing the exact same thing as they were doing on normal. I wasn't lying when I said the AI are absolutely terrible. So what I had to end up doing was choosing Yosuke and running across the screen as fast as I could, covering as much ground as possible to try and manipulate Mitsuru into doing the charm move. Thankfully, this ended up working after I don't even know how many attempts, so I finally got that dreaded "you should leave him be" trophy, which is how I was starting to feel about this whole journey in general because the hard part hadn't even begun yet and I was already starting to get pissed off. Not a good sign. I won't read off all the trophies I got here because it was about like 15 or 20 of them, but I will scroll through the trophy list and let y'all take a look. As you can tell, it's really nothing too crazy. Even beginners to fighting games can get all these done without too much issue. What beginners to fighting games are not going to be able to get done, at least not without several hours of practice, are the combo challenges, the second biggest gatekeeper of this platinum trophy. As I said at the beginning of the video, there are 390 combo trials in total across the 13 characters, each of which having 30 on their own. The first 15 to 20 on each character are very simple, teaching you the character's basic inputs, but after that you start getting more technical combos. Even as someone who has competed in Ultimax tournaments and put thousands of hours into the game, there are still some combo challenges in this game that I felt were really freaking hard. So you put some of these challenges in the face of someone who has never touched a fighting game before, and you start to understand exactly why only 0.74% of players that ever play this game have done all of them. They all range in difficulty, of course, and it depends on your personal skills as a player on which ones are harder to grasp than others. Since I play Narukami competitively and he's one of the easier characters in the game, I finished his combo trials in about 10 minutes, so a very good start. I then unlocked the "I mastered that one" trophy for completing one of the character's trials. 1 of 13 down. None of the other characters went that fast, unfortunately. There wasn't much rhyme or reason to the order of characters I chose to do. I simply chose whoever I was itching to play at the time, and it just so happened that most of the characters I wanted to do first were the easier ones. After Narukami, I went into Akihiko's challenges, which are really easy. If I had to tell someone one character to start these challenges with, it would be Akihiko. But there's one thing about this game that came to light in these combo trials. The game outright lies to your face about what you're supposed to actually do for certain combos. As an example, in Akihiko's Challenge 28, the inputs given to you on screen are this. But what the game does not tell you is that in order to hit that standing B after the double uppercut, you have to do a micro dash or else it will not reach far enough to connect. Considering the fact that this game was made with beginners in mind, I think this is a massive oversight because even though they give you the demonstrations on what the combo looks like and how to do it, beginners are not going to notice that you have to do that micro dash. And even if they do notice that something looks different between the demonstration and their attempts, they might not know how to fix it. There are so many instances of things like this across the combo trials, and it's really annoying. The thing I do like about this game's combo challenges, however, are the challenge 30s for all the characters. Since the game is trying to teach you how a character's combos function, instead of giving you a full combo as they do for challenges 1 through 29, challenge 30 instead gives you a set goal to achieve and you create your own combo. The reason this is cool is because there's no one set way you have to approach the combo, which trust me, we will be abusing heavily throughout these trials. I won't go over every single combo trial because this video would probably be like 5 hours long if I did, but I will go over the noteworthy ones and all the characters' challenge 30s. Akihiko's challenge 30 is the easiest in the entire game. It asks you to perform a combo that deals 150 hits or more, and Akihiko has several moves that deal a lot of hits. His Mesiodyne super alone deals like 60 to 70 hits on its own, so if you do that twice and throw a special move in for flavor, you're done. It's honestly pretty amazing how easy it is. After Akihiko, I went into my homegirl Labrys, who is a great example of what I meant by the game not telling you what to do at all, and how we're going to be abusing Challenge 30's leniency. Once again, for Challenge 29, it gives you the inputs, but it leaves out the most important part of the damn combo. For her down down A special move, which is her spike from the ground, you have to hold down the A button for a little while you do the down B. This is called negative edging. Not that kind of edging, get your mind out of the gutter. Negative edging is basically where you hold down a button to sort of charge or hold an attack from coming out while you input other attacks. Once again, a beginner is never going to know what that is or how to do it, so I really don't understand why they don't try to teach this to you. Challenge 30 on the other hand is fine. For this combo, you gotta do her Brutal Impact Super 2 times in one combo. This is usually quite tricky, but there's actually a glitch or exploit you can do to make this a lot easier. Let's break this down. You start the combo with Brutal Impact, then you go into a pretty standard combo that ends up killing the training dummy because Labrys does buku levels of damage, but since the combo technically doesn't end if it causes a KO, if you input the second Brutal Impact before the KO screen appears, she'll still charge it up. Even though it's not a real combo, the game counts it anyways once the second Brutal Impact hits, since it's technically a combo in the eye of the game. This is probably the most unintended one, because I mean, you're not actually doing a combo, you're blatantly exploiting the game's design. But hey, it ain't my fault they programmed it that way, so I'm gonna take my W and cash it in at the bank. The fourth one I decided to do was my former main character, Chie Satonaka. She is really fun in this game actually, mostly because she's absurdly overpowered and her combos are pretty fun. There ain't too much to say here, but her Challenge 30 is similar to Narukami's where you have to do 3 of her supers in one combo. You can't normally combo from her God's Hand super, but if you time it just right so that the super hits on late active frames, or it hits meaty as it's called in the FGC, you'll have just enough time to hit the training dummy while it's on the ground. The timing is very strict, but it's one of the most satisfying challenges in the game to hit, and it's really not that hard to do, so overall I think Chie has some of the best designed challenges in the game. There isn't anything major I think a beginner wouldn't be able to figure out on their own. Now if we want to talk about a Challenge 30 that is straight up broken, then let's talk about Naoto. Naoto's Challenge 30 asks you to do a combo that deals 10,000 damage. The way you're meant to do this combo is by doing a massive combo, of course, and this demonstration you get after you do the combo for the first time shows that. It's pretty complicated, right? Well, what if I told you instead of doing this old fancy combo, we just did this? So this probably looks like I'm straight up cheating, right? I mean, I'm doing the same damn move over and over again. But this is actually a developer oversight that lets you do something known as an SMP loop. SMP stands for Same Move Proration, and in simple terms, it means the more you do the same moves in a combo, the quicker your combo is going to end and the less damage it will do. This exists to prevent players from doing infinite combos, but the way Arc System Works designed this in this game was very lazy. The game checks to see what moves you have used in a combo, but once you go past the 10 move point, the game kind of gives up and stops keeping the moves in check. So if you do Naoto's Double Fang special move as the 11th hit of the combo, the game will never check SMP so you can loop it infinitely. Naoto in particular abuses this very well because this move is super easy to repeat. So instead of doing that big old combo, you can do this instead. And not only is it easier, but it's also something people did in real tournaments. Like this is something that, like people play this game for money, y'all, like for real. If you can't tell by now, I'm a massive nerd when it comes to this game, so I like sharing stuff like this since it's so niche and I don't really have anywhere else to talk about it. So I hope y'all are enjoying these small pieces of tech and mechanics I'm sharing. Anyways, I folded Narukami like an omelet and moved on to the next character, which was Kanji. Kanji is another one where there's not much to say, but he has by far one of the most egregious examples of not telling you what to do I have ever seen in my entire life. For his Challenge 29, you have to do a one more burst combo, and when you do this, Kanji goes off screen as the camera follows the training dummy. But here, to make the crouch C connect, you have to walk backwards slightly while you're off screen. Like seriously, how the f do they expect newer players to figure that out? Challenge 30 is pretty easy though, just deal 9,000 damage and you're on your merry way. The only hard part about it is the very beginning, because the optimal starter for this combo is a frame perfectly charged standing C. If you can get that though, the rest is simple. Simple if you've put thousands of hours into the game and understand fighting games as a whole, may I remind you, because this is really hard if you don't have experience with these kinds of things. I'm not trying to glaze myself or whatever, but most of these things are way harder than they look, at least for most players. But this next character is one that even I struggled a lot with. Yosuke. Yosuke, more than any other combo trial in the game, is where I think most players will simply not be able to complete it. The others up to this point are manageable, but there are so many steps to this that I just can't see most people having the patience or desire to do it. This platinum is no joke. I think Yosuke probably has the hardest challenge 30 in the entire game, but make no mistake, there are still a few that are tricky. Thankfully, Teddie isn't too bad. The bad part is that you have to play as Teddie, and I can't stand this character in any way. His combos feel like absolute doo-doo butter and his movement is jank, but the trials themselves are simple. Yet another damage based one, and since he has ways to set up ridiculous amounts of damage, this is a piece of cake. Shadow Labrys is also a very easy character combo trial wise. Shadow Labrys is a puppet character, so your persona buttons control Asterius, who is always on screen unlike other characters. She's weird to play, but in terms of combo trials, she's up there with Akihiko as being the easiest in the game. Her challenge 30 is Labrys's, but even easier. You use her Titanomachia super to have Asterius do certain moves, which times it perfectly for your brutal impact to hit when it needs to. Then you slightly delay the second brutal impact. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Labrys definitely has the easiest challenge 30 in the game, because literally all you do is 2 supers with slightly manual timings. It's hardly even a combo. But hey, that's another one off the list. Elizabeth, on the other hand, is one of the more tricky characters. Her combos have very peculiar timings to them, and you have to do a bunch of manually timed things to get them done. Her challenge 30 in particular is just complete nonsense because it asks you to do both of her insta-kill supers in one combo. Both of these, as you can imagine by them being called insta-kill supers, will kill the training dummy instantly if it hits them. So you have to craft a combo that somehow has them trigger, but doesn't kill the dummy. Oh, by the way, the supers each take 10 seconds to charge up, so this is a 20-second combo technically. I don't even know how this combo counted because the Mahamon at the end didn't hit the training dummy, but to be real with y'all, I didn't give a shit. I was just glad to be done. But boy oh boy, has the worst yet to come. After I did Elizabeth's combo trials, I went to Yukiko's, and Yukiko by far has the hardest combo trials in the game. It's not even close. Y'all remember what I said about negative edging before? Well, Yukiko is strictly a negative edge oriented character. For all of her combos, you have to hold down buttons to hold and charge attacks while also inputting other moves at the same time. It is the most unintuitive thing I have ever done in a video game, and for some reason they decided to make Yukiko's trials so strict it's insane. Like challenge 26, not even challenge like 27, 28, 29, 30. No, challenge 26 was harder than most other characters' combo trials combined. For this one, you need to cancel her stand B into a J236AB, but you need to hold the B and not the A, and you need to time it so the held B hits the dummy on the way down so you have time to run up and finish the combo. I'm so serious, this is literally one of the tightest combos I have ever done in the thousands of hours I've played this game. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to put such a strict Tiger Knee cancel in this game and only put it as challenge 26. Like, you gotta be smoking crack, bro. Challenge 29 though, bro, oh my goodness. I seriously thought I was gonna have a mental breakdown trying to do this challenge because I can't even speak, bro. It is genuinely almost impossible to do this on a normal controller. So for this one, you have to do an all-out attack to launch them in the air. Go into a JA, JB, cancel that into a 236AB, but this is where it gets genuinely fucking ridiculous. So you have to manually time the explosion on both the A and B bombs you're holding, and while you're doing that, you have to do an air dash. Then as you're in that air dash, you need to cancel into a JD at the perfect timing to have all hits connect. Then as you fall to the ground, you need to catch them before they hit the ground to finish the combo. What I had to do was remap my D button to one of the triggers so I could hit all the inputs when I needed to. When a combo requires you to remap your entire controller to perform it, that's when you know it's absolutely absurd, alright? Even after I finally got this challenge done, I still had challenge 30, and this challenge 30 took me absolutely forever. I don't even know why, because it's seriously not a hard challenge. Deal 10,000 damage. Yukiko shits out damage at max fire level, which you can easily get since it's not a real fight. But I think after playing this game for the entire night, doing 329 combo trials in one day alone, my brain was just completely fried. I should have quit for the night and came back to it the next day, but I'm a very prideful person. It's one of my biggest strengths and biggest weaknesses. If I cannot accomplish something, I feel like I've failed, even if it's the smallest thing you can imagine. So I kept playing for another hour straight, banging my head against the wall, trying to get the combo done until I broke and gave up. I'm being for real when I say I felt like a failure too, because I went to sleep thinking about this. When I came back to it the next day though, I beat it in like 10 minutes. So seriously, take breaks if you're feeling fatigued, because it's just a complete waste of time trying to brute force it. Her combo trials can kiss my ass though, like seriously, I will never do these combo trials ever again. The good news is that nothing else is as bad as Yukiko, not even close. Unless you find charge characters harder than negative edge characters, because the next character, Mitsuru, is just that. If you don't know what a charge character is, it's a character who has to hold back for a set amount of time to access their special moves. In the case of Mitsuru, to access her coup draw special, you have to hold back for 40 frames, then press forward into either A or B to have the move come out. The special moves are usually really good, with the obvious drawback being that you have to constantly be charging for it. In the case of Mitsuru, however, it's not really that big of a problem. Her combos, despite having charge motions, feel very natural to input, and even if some are pretty tricky, it's nothing in comparison to Yukiko. I'm going to see those combo challenges in my nightmares. In fact, I actually had a dream about this game. After I was doing these combo trials and everything, this is a completely different tangent. I had a dream that Super Saiyan 4 Goku was in this game for some reason. I have no idea why, but it was kind of badass. I'm not gonna lie, he was freaking dope. It was so random. Mitsuru's Challenge 30 is pretty cool though. It asks you to perform the coup draw move 10 times, which is pretty hard, but also pretty fun. Out of all the Challenge 30s in the game, this is one of my favorites to do for sure. You have to constantly flip between holding back and forward, and the motion is super satisfying. There's a bunch of manual timings needed for this second half of the combo, but nothing too crazy. It's just something you pick up with time. So even though this took me about an hour or so to finish, it didn't make me nearly as mad as other combos like Yosuke, which took about the same amount of time. Once I had Mitsuru done, it was time to do everyone's favorite toaster gal, Aigis. Aigis is another straightforward character to get done, and the reason I left her for last is because she has my favorite Challenge 30 in the entire game. It asks you to do all of her moves in one combo. It's by far the most unique, and it gives you a lot of room for creativity on how to beat it. Considering Aigis is the combo goddess of this game, it's very fitting that they made this the final challenge for her. I don't have too much to say about it since it's still pretty straightforward, but look at this and tell me that isn't the coolest shit ever. I mean, come on. With Aigis done, that wraps up all the combo challenges. These in total took me roughly 12 hours to finish, so about 55 minutes per character on average. This of course shows why averages never tell the full story, because someone like Narukami took me 10 minutes, whereas someone like Yukiko took me 2 hours or more all on her own. Overall, I think the challenges in this game are pretty solid, but some are really weird and cryptic for no reason. I guess that's kind of the point of combo challenges, it's meant to be a challenge, but I mean come on, not explaining certain gameplay mechanics is pretty messed up. Either way, it doesn't matter because the combo challenges are only one of two gatekeepers of this game. And if I'm being real, this next thing makes the combo challenges look like a walk in the park. The second gatekeeper of this platinum trophy, and probably the final one most people are going to do, is the score attack mode. And let me tell y'all, there's a lot to explain and show here. I don't even know where to begin because there are so many layers to this that I could make an entire video about how poorly made this game mode is. Score attack is like arcade mode if every character was a super boss on the tier of Persona 3 Fess Elizabeth. So at a baseline, every character has basically double the amount or more of health, they gain meter faster, they deal more damage, and they are set to the highest difficulty. On top of that, each character has a specific ability attached to them that makes them way stronger. For example, Yosuke constantly has his Tsukukaja install activated, which makes him move around the screen basically instantly. Since the AI already deal more damage at a baseline and they have all these extra abilities, it's very likely that you will die in 1 or 2 hits against every single character in the game. But what all characters do you have to fight? Is it like arcade mode where it's semi-random? Nope. You have to fight every single character in the game in a row. And the best part? If you lose, you have to restart from the very first fight. There are no continues. And you want to know the best part? You have to beat this mode with every single character in the game for the C'est Magnifique trophy. Yeah. So you have to beat this bullshit hard mode 13 times in total. And some characters are completely trash for this game mode. I mean, it's torture. It is by far the hardest thing in the entire Persona franchise. It's harder than Joker, Elizabeth, Lavenza, the twins, Theodore, Philemon, anyone you can think of, and I'm not even taking it up for discussion because there's no actual way to prepare for this like you would for a traditional Persona fight. You have to have a set plan with every character on how to beat every character's AI without getting hit once. It's one of the worst designed things I've ever seen in my life, and I don't know why they thought it would be a good idea to put in the game. But forget about the trophies, okay? Just for a second. I know it's a trophy video, but just forget about it for a second. Just think about the concept of it. Once again, I want to reiterate that this game was made for beginners to the fighting game genre. So how the fuck did ArcSys think any beginner would have fun playing this game mode? I mean, seriously. Do you know how frustrating it is to make it like 10 fights in and then just die in one hit? Who wants to go through that? I just don't know, man. And I was seriously close to losing my mind several times throughout the course of doing this. And I'm starting to lose my cool just recording this script. So I'm going to calm down and I'm going to be very calm and articulated. So I had planned on making a big detailed breakdown of how every character works in boss mode. But honestly, I think this is a case of you just need to see for yourself. Me explaining it is not going to do it justice. So I recorded my entire journey beating Score Attack with every character, and I had my microphone on the entire time. So I'm about to show you the true misery that comes with trying to beat this game mode. Fair warning, I do rage a lot. I scream. So if you don't like that kind of content, I apologize, but I do want to be authentic and show truly how miserable this platinum trophy is. So I hope you at least enjoy my descent into madness. It's an absurd amount of blue life, dude. Like, look at that shit. What the fuck? Holy fucking god almighty, bro. It's, oh my god, dude. Why? Holy fucking shit! Just kill me. What the fuck? Oh my god! God, I'm gonna cry, bro. I'm gonna cry. I hate it. I'm actually fucking hate it. I hate it so bad. I hate it. I hate it. It's so unfun, dude. Why? 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 Holy fucking shit, I'm pressing TP, bro! Is my controller just broken or what? It's one fucking button and it never comes out! Fuck you. God damn, block the fucking IK 3 times, you. Fuck you. God. Yeah, I'm done. Fucking done. So goddamn fucking bullshit. It's insane. It's literally the most unfun game mode you could ever make for a fighting game. That's so fucking fun, dude. Like, what the fuck, man? Fuck off. What the? Oh my god, where's my IK, dude? Jesus Christ, the fucking game is so fucking ass. It's so fucking stupid, dude. It's so fucking trash. Okay. Okay, man. That's not what I wanted, but this game is fucking absolutely terrible, so it's not any surprise that I just don't get anything I want ever. I'm not gonna fucking win this now. Oh my god, dude. Input. Oh my fucking fucking god. My god. Like, they're so inconsistent, dude. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god, dude. I've literally never seen him do that. Like, that's literally so fucking ridiculous. I don't even know how to fucking put it into words. It's so fucking bullshit. Elizabeth from Persona 3 Fast is still harder, guys. Elizabeth from Persona 3 Fast is still the hardest boss in Persona. Even though Score Attack is fucking there, it's still the hardest boss in the series. Oh my god, I'm so fucking smart and intelligent. I've probably never even played Persona 3 Fest, but I just watched a YouTuber play it, so it's the fucking hardest boss in the game. It's so fucking great. It's so awesome. Oh my god. God. Oh my god, there's no fucking way she fucking times. Oh my god. What the f, dude. And that's only the tip of the iceberg, because trust me, there was a lot more and a lot worse than this. But it wasn't all bad. I did in the end eventually beat it with most of the characters, and just like the combo challenges, some were easier than others. I made it to a point to save my main man Narukami for last though, since like I said, he's my main character, and what better way to end things than beating it with the protagonist of the game. So I started up my final run of this absolutely abhorrent game mode and finished business once and for all. So that was the Set Magnifique trophy in all its splendor. But where's the platinum? Well, what if I told you there was a trophy even harder than the Score Attack one? My true final task of this platinum was to beat the tutorial. I mean, y'all, this was a tough one. I thought my back was gonna break doing this, but I somehow clutched up, which marks the end of this platinum journey. I'm not gonna make a long outro for this one. I'm just gonna say this is the most miserable experience I have ever gone through in gaming. So please, all I ask for is a like and a sub on this video. It helps the channel out a lot, and I'll give you a free cookie on your way out. Here you go, homie. It's been boy Yandere Gogeta. I recommend you never ever go for this platinum trophy unless you hate yourself, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out, everybody, and have a great day.